Now, it's a system of government in which governmental powers are constitutionally shared between the central government and the component units or the regions. So here, we don't talk about concentration of powers. Rather, powers are decentralized, shared between the central government and the component unit. Now, if you look at this diagram, though it shows the three systems of government, you can see where you have the central government, look at the federal government, look at the people, you see the state government, you see the national government. Now, these the people represent the constitution. Now, both of them derive their powers from the people. So, there is no government that can lord it over the other one. So, all of them, or the two governments or the two levels of government or even more, derive their power from one source, the constitution. So, no government can subject the other government to itself. Examples of countries that practice a federal system of government is United States of America, Nigeria is there, South Africa, Canada, India, and so on. So we have countries that practice federal system of government. Now let's look at the features of federal government. One, there's constitutional sharing of governmental powers. That's governmental powers are shared by the constitution. So each level of government derives its power from the constitution. Then, number two, because they derive their power from the constitution then is the source of authority and therefore supreme. That is why we talk about supremacy of the constitution. The constitution is the final authority, the highest authority, because all the government derive their powers from the constitution. Then in the system we have levels of government. We don't have just one central government. We have the central government and the component units. The constitution in the system is written in the rigid. Written in the sense that the provisions of this constitution are found in one document. It's documented in a book. So you can hold the book and call it the constitution. And also, the constitution is difficult to amend because it requires stringent procedures before you can amend the constitution. Then there is usually a bicameral legislature, that is two-chamber legislature. You have the upper house and the lower house. In the upper house, usually the Senate, you find out that there is equal representation. Example, in Nigeria, you see that the Senate, every state is represented by 3 persons. Equal representation in the upper house. Now, the lower house is usually based on population of different parts of the country. Also, different levels of government derive their powers from the constitution, as we've explained. Now, there is duplication of arms of government at all levels. What do we mean by this? Now, if you come to the national government or the central government or the federal government, you will see the legislature, executive, and the judiciary. In Nigeria, the National Assembly, the Federal Executive Council, you see the Supreme Court. Now, if you come to the state level, you also see the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. So you see that the arms of government are duplicated at all levels of government.